Hey guys, I wanted to do a brief video for you to give you a little insight, a little help with the case study assignment. I provided a template for you to do the case study to make it a little bit easier on you, but I wanted to do something real quick to help you perform your best on this assignment, because probably many of you have never done this type of case study before. So in the template, you'll see I'm asking you to write a summary of a court case, and you've already been assigned that court case in previous announcements and via personal email. So I want you to address a series of points, about 9 points regarding the case. So in terms of the name of the case, you already have it, but I'm gonna do an example here for you. So let's just say your case is John Doe versus United States, okay? And it's appropriate if you would like to cite the case. Usually when you do your research, you'll come across a case citation, but I'm also good with you entering a year. So the parties involved, it's pretty easy. You can do that through reading about the case, but generally your plaintiff is listed first and your defendant is listed second. Makes sense? So our plaintiff in this case, and you can draft this out in paragraph form. I'm just gonna write it real quick. Type this morning. All right, so the procedure, this is where it's at in the judicial process, in the appellate process. So usually, and in fact, most of these cases that I've assigned to you, they've gone to some higher court, either a federal court, a federal appellate court, or even the United States Supreme Court. So in this case, let's say the United States. And if you'd like to show the progression through the procedure, that it started out possibly in a federal district court as a federal criminal case, moved to the federal appellate level, and then to the Supreme Court, that's certainly appropriate too. Issue, what is the court answering? All right, let's just say in John Doe versus the United States that John Doe is claiming that he received cruel and unusual punishment by his sentence. All right, certainly you would want to elaborate more, and that would be found in your research. Facts of the case. Anytime you do research on a case, there'll be a case synopsis. Please don't copy and paste out of your research material or out of any existing court brief. Read the facts of the case and provide me a synopsis of the case in your own words. All right, moving right along. Rule. What rule of law is being applied to the court? All right, let's just say that that the death penalty is cruel, and of course you'll elaborate a little bit more. Then you can do some analysis of how the court went about applying the rule of law, and that is typically done through opinion, either a majority opinion written by one judge on a court panel, or a minority opinion often show different analytical components. What was the legal conclusion of the court? The court determined that the death penalty was not cruel and unusual if applied appropriately appropriately as determined in Gregg versus Georgia, for example. And then the final judgment is that you don't have to put it in bold. Take that off. Court ruled the government could proceed with sentence Of course, your final disposition will also be summarized in much of your research. If you have any questions about this assignment, please don't hesitate to contact me. A few of you completed the assignment already, and what I've seen looks pretty good, but I wanted to give you a little inside information on what I was looking for. But if you follow some existing case research and case summaries out there on the cases that I've assigned to you, you should do fairly well. Hope this helps.